Ladies and gentlemen, the Pacific Southwest chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences welcomes you to Emmy 2002, the 28th Annual Pacific Southwest Emmy Awards, honoring excellence in television in San Diego, Las Vegas, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Bakersfield, and Palm Springs. And now, the president of the Pacific Southwest chapter, Esther Jane Paul.
For those of you who remember the BBC series Doctor Who, and you'll be aging yourselves, you'll recognize Sergeant Benton. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Benton, John Anthony Blake.
Dr. Benton?
Wonderful, Mr. Benson. Wonderful.
How on earth did you do that, Doctor?
Elemental, my dear Benton.
Morning, Benton.
Morning, sir.
Said the next Mrs. Samuel Pepys, you make the finest cup of coffee in the world.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Actually, the secret of it is to get the water.
Look, never mind the dratted coffee.
John Anthony Blake.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Okay, well, that's my dignity gone, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'd like to welcome you most sincerely. I know it's a big night for you all. Some of you are getting awards and all this kind of thing. And we welcome you most sincerely to this disused aircraft hangar here in the U.S. Grand Hotel. Of course, for the 28th Annual Pacific Southwest Emmy Awards. I would like to mention that I do like the restaurant in the hotel. I must confess, as an Englishman, the service is a little bit good. I mean, in England it's very slow, but here it's amazing. I sat down at the table. The water boy came up and gave me water. Wine waiter came up and gave me wine. The food waiter came up and gave me food. And the head waiter started my way. I was out of that restaurant. You Americans. And then he wanted a tip. And my last mention is just to say thank you to whoever ordered the food here. You have a vegetarian starter, which I think is very nice, and I am a vegetarian. Any other vegetarians, by the way, in the house? Oh, just a few. Nice. We pass a lot of wind, don't we? But we're generally very healthy. But I must just tell you, before I introduce two fabulous people, I cooked a vegetarian cake last week. Vegetarian cake out of 15 different kinds of beans and pulses. Yeah. I must be honest, the cake tasted dreadful, but it blew its own candles out. It's amazing. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put you off your main course now, hasn't it? I would now like, please, to present our first set of awards. Would you... Thank you. I wish I'd told it earlier now. To present the first set of awards, please welcome the lovely, and I must say she is lovely. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I asked her for a date just before we came on. Yeah, she gave me the whole box. Would you please welcome to the stage the popular, beautiful Linda Martin, an anchor for Fox 6 News, and Dave Carlin, weekend anchor for KSWB-TV. And Dave is on first because he actually has a newscast to do tonight. So please, a warm welcome to Linda and Dave. Thank you very much. So you remember Doctor Who, did some of you? Did you really? Yes. So we're all older than we look, aren't we? They've just asked me to, you obviously know I'm from England, and whilst this is a privilege tonight, I'm very humbled to be your MC tonight, but I think I have the strength of character to overcome it. And I just need to tell you that we've just had the Jubilee, of course, in Great Britain. What a lovely time that was, and I was very fortunate for the work I've done with charity and the Emmy Awards. And I was invited back to have dinner with the Queen of England, and it was a wonderful occasion. Well, he said he was the Queen of England. You just can't be sure, can you? While I'm looking for what I've got to say, I must tell you I made a bad business decision last year. I don't mind admitting it. I went into business with a dyslexic pimp. Yeah. I ended up with a chain of warehouses. That's crazy. No, you know. But being here this weekend is nice, I must be honest, because I cleaned out the attic with the wife last week. Yeah, I cleaned out the attic with the wife. It was dirty, filthy, covered in cobwebs, but she's good to the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, because if you laugh, I'll bloody stay on here, I tell you. Would you bring on, would you give, I should not do drugs before I come on. No, because you've got to be careful. That cocaine, I hate cocaine. I like the smell of it, but... Would you please welcome the legendary Jonathan Dunn Rankin, ladies and gentlemen, who... Now, hang on, he's not on yet. This is still my moment. He is retiring this month after 22 long, grueling years as the executive director of the Pacific Southwest chapter. So he's done more than most people. Please welcome Jonathan Dunn Rankin. Thank you, Jonathan.
Please welcome once again our Master of Ceremonies for the evening, John Anthony Blake.
Thank you very much. I must tell you, I have enjoyed you this evening. You've been for an Englishman, you've been a marvelous group of American people. No, because, we must not, you Americans must not forget your history. You mustn't forget history. Magna Carta. Did she die for nothing? Got to keep your eye on history. And I notice a lot of people have gotten awards tonight for writing and things like that, and I must tell you, as an Englishman, I do love Shakespeare, I have to be honest. I love Shakespeare. I get his books as soon as they come out, and he's a wonderful writer. And I just wanted to tell you something I heard the other day about the duck that went into a drugstore. It was a fascinating, yes. Went into the drugstore and asked the lady for a condom. And the lady looked at the duck and said, "Should I put it on your bill?" And he said, "No, thank you, I'm not that kind of duck." I quite know what that means. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure for me to be your host, along, of course, with all the other people that have done just as much. It's just that my mouth is a little larger. And I'd like to say that it says on the script here, that's it, good night and God bless you. But I'd like to just say thank you on behalf of myself, my wife, for being with me. It's lovely to see how many men have loved their wives. I do not know what we would do without you ladies. In fact, there was a saying once that next to God, we are indebted to women, first for life itself and then for making life worth having. And I wish we newsreaders, I've just finished 4 years working with Robert Wagner raising money for battered women. And there are so many battered women in your country. I wish we could somehow get this out on the TV news. Don't beat women. And I'm sorry to bring it up, but it just makes me sick, and they're so beautiful, we shouldn't do that. So, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, on that slightly serious note, just have the rest of a good evening, and if you are driving home, please make sure you have a car. Thank you very much indeed. Good night, and God bless you all. Good night.